That was Mr. Jayesh Ranjan from Government of Telangana. A big round of applause for his contribution. I'm pretty sure that he gave valuable suggestions. We'll be incorporating it in our center as well, and going forward, we look for more collaboration with Telangana state as well. Now, moving on with the agenda, there is a Vice Chancellor here. Professor J. Mahinder Reddy, who is currently the Vice Chancellor of ICFAI Foundation for Higher Education, was a Fellow of Shastri Indo-Canadian Fellowship Institute at Carleton University in Ottawa, Canada. He was a Fulbright Scholar Fellow at the University of Boston. He was the first chair in the Indian Ocean Studies RIM Association for Regional Cooperation, which was located at University of Mauritius. He taught in the Faculty of Business Administration at the University of Alberta in Canada, St. Peter's College in the United States, and Administrative Staff College of India. A very hearty welcome to Professor J. Mahinder Reddy.
Am I audible? Okay, then those who are online, I hope it's okay. Can we proceed? Yeah. Mr. Jayesh Ranjan, Principal Secretary IT. Mr. Ulrich Stark, Country Director of Frederick Ebert Stiftung, New Delhi. Ms. Mandavi Kulashrestha, Urbanist and Feminist at FES India Office. Professor Ved Pureshwar, Professor Shailajan, Professor Director Sudhakar Rao, Professor Sanjay Fuloria, distinguished panelists and participants of the symposium, ladies and gentlemen. We are grateful to Mr. Jayesh Ranjan for participating virtually in this interactive session. As he said in his concluding remarks, and I entirely agree, that we need to have, this university believes in having a trilateral cooperation between the academia, government and industry. This cooperation among the three, academia, government and industry, is extremely important for the development of any country or any state. We have had an excellent inaugural lecture, and whatever I wanted to say, some things have already been said by Mr. Jayesh Ranjan, so that makes my job much easier. But for the benefit of our guests, I would like to say a few words, as I have been briefed about the university and the business school. I congratulate the business school, particularly this Center of Excellence, and I'm going to come to what the Center of Excellence is. What do we mean? I'll come to that a little later. But at the outset, I want to congratulate the business school and the Center of Excellence on Digital Transformation for organizing this important seminar on digital transformation important seminar jointly with FES on digital transformation of informal sector, challenges and opportunities for EdTech. Let me first say a few words about the university. This is a deemed to be university, and as told by Sanjay Fuloria, and there are 8,000 students and 350 faculty. It has got A+ grade from NAC and Category 2 autonomous status institution. Its business school is accredited by AACSB, SACS and SACS. I am happy to inform you that the business school has got 7th rank among all private business schools in the country. 7th rank in all the private business schools. The total number of business schools in the country are close to 6,000, of which quite a few are private, so 7th rank. And more important, it is this business school is number 1 in student and teaching quality, which is most important for any parent who wants to admit a student. And the business school has also got 4A plus in Telangana state by Careers 360 for the year 2022. Mr. Jayesh Ranjan, I like to particularly mention this to you, that the business school got 4A plus in Telangana state, maybe the only school with that rank. It offers BBA, BA Economics, MBA online, MBA distance mode, executive MBA, regular and part-time PhD programs. The focus of the school, you see, what I mentioned, which got excellent in student and teaching quality. How? Why? Following are the reasons. Number 1, first of all, curriculum is socially relevant and has a case research center which is world renowned, and the cases developed by this university are used in top schools in the world such as INSEAD in Europe, Columbia in New York, California, Berkeley, Johns Hopkins, London Business School, Oxford, Cambridge, HEC Montreal, SDA Bocconi, and Indian School of Business here. Mr. Jayesh Ranjan spoke about the entrepreneurship. You see, he said he is very happy to know from IIIT that Mr. Narayana, the director, tells him that more and more students are opting out of the regular placements. That means they are interested in this. We are also interested, and I am happy to inform you that we have got an Institutional Innovation Council, a Government of India Ministry of Education initiative. It was established in our university on November 15, 2018 to promote a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship in the university. Whether they become entrepreneurs or not, it's a difficult job. It's not so easy to create entrepreneurs. Whether they become entrepreneurs or not, they will certainly be better managers. That is the philosophy of the university, and we are promoting the Center for Entrepreneurship. The council, this Institutional Innovation Council of this university, has 21 faculty members and 42 students. It has currently got 3 stars and a 5-star rating as approved by the Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell. It has an incubation center, and several ideas are in the pipeline to be included. The university gives high priority to startups. Student-centric academic delivery, that's one of the very important things to make education, quality education. Continuous evaluation and feedback throughout the semester. Internship in every program, because that hands-on experience is very important for the students to get placed. Quality faculty is the most important of all, and we make every effort. All the directors are concerned about it all the time, and recruitment is a continuous process. Focus on fundamentals in the subject and applications, soft skills, life skills, and focus on attitudes and personality development so that they get placements. This is another important aspect. Integration of vocational and higher education, that's constantly in the minds of the top management in the university. Through courses such as machine learning, which Mr. Jayesh Ranjan has mentioned the importance of Jayesh Ranjaning. Machine learning, artificial intelligence, blockchain, and many other efforts. In addition to regular teaching by the faculty, who take about 33 sessions in every course, we get star professors from all over India. For example, we are going to start from one of the distinguished economists in the country, Professor C. Rangarajan, 3 lectures by him as part of the regular course in macroeconomics. In addition to the regular course taught by our faculty who are highly competent, it will supplement, for example, 30 years of economic reforms on December 10th, growth, COVID and the Indian economy, evolving contours of monetary policy. So these 3 lectures supplement the regular teaching. You see, it's a part. The questions come in the examination from these lectures. So the idea of star professors is not just you listen to and you forget about it. No, the responsibility is on the students to internalize the contents delivered by the star professors. You see, it's not extension lecture, so general lecture is attended, you attend and go. No. We want them to spend time and internalize the content, and then can be questions on the examination. And this is not just in one economics area. It should be, our plan is to go in every area, but professors of eminence, our students should get exposure. To sum up, what are the main three objectives of our business school? Number one, training students so that they can be placed. That's our main objective. Unless they want to go for startup, that's a different matter. Number two, problem solving of companies through consultancy assignments by the faculty. We want to give confidence to industry and government that our faculty can solve the problems faced by the industry. You see, it may be a new project creation or diversification or whatever it may be. We would like to give confidence, not just giving confidence. We want to put in action some assignment so that we can help promote the industry and their growth. Number three, training of senior executives and top management in industry and government. We have started, courses are going on, but we want to develop as we move forward. The next is research is very important. You take any university in the world, top universities in the world, you take top 10 or top 20, they are all research focused. You take either QS ranking, Times Higher Education ranking. You see, national education policy has also said that universities which are strong in research tend to be high quality teaching universities. So we focus on it, and I am happy to tell you that our faculty have published Scopus listed journal articles, published in A*, A and B in the Australian Business Deans Council category, international and national conference papers, management cases, books and chapters, and they also take the business school faculty take the responsibility of editing the intellectual content of 17 IUP journals produced by the ICFAI group. So that's a major responsibility. Publishing is done by business people, but intellectual content, what is the paper, what is the scope, objective, abstract, etc. They are in different areas of business, HR, marketing, strategy, etc. I would like to highlight the best practices of the business school, 3 or 4. First one is faculty seminars. You see, it is extremely difficult to get high quality faculty. Increasing the faculty numbers is not easy. But what we do is we recruit faculty where there is a spark. You can't get ready-made faculty. But there is a spark. It is our responsibility to train them, make them better faculty, make them best. Best is difficult to get in the market. The demand is so much, supply is limited. So we need to think in terms of increasing the supply. That's of course is a challenge for the entire nation. But we have regular faculty seminars wherein the faculty get themselves enriched, and that helps them better faculty. That is, I would consider it as every week or every fortnight, depending on the number of papers available. There are seminars, and then interaction. They are all full of interaction. Research cannot be done by sitting isolated in your room. You need to present your ideas to other colleagues, and there should be sincere cooperation for the development of the department. You see, it is your seminar, why should I go and attend? No. It is your seminar, but your publication, I benefit. Good of one contributes to the good of others. So that is the spirit with which we work in the departments in the university. Number 2, practice our mock GD group discussion and personal interviews. This is very important. It's an activity where the senior alumni, good alumni relationships, maybe the alumni coordinator is there, and industry professionals above the rank of vice president are invited. The panel comprises of a faculty member and an alumni industry professional. Every year, about 160 alumni professionals take part in the mock GDPI process and give feedback to all the students. So alumni plays a very important role, as is the case many reputed universities in the world. Number 3, placements. The school has full-fledged corporate relations department which ensures over 95% of the placements. So, and the last one is extracurricular and co-curricular activities. The school encourages the students to take part in various extracurricular activities. There are about 35 clubs. What we want is, we want to be consistent what the national education policy says. We want to integrate the academia, co-curricular and extracurricular activities. There is integration should take place so that the student will be a well-rounded personality. Now I like to come to, as I said, this seminar, this symposium is jointly by FES and the Center for Excellence in Digital Transformation. Business School is overall, but there's a unit called Center of. There are 11 centers of excellence. I would like to tell the distinguished members, what is the Center of Excellence? Center of Excellence is a particular area in the business. For example, Center of Banking and Finance. It's a part of the finance department. Similarly, other centers. So this is it could be just not only one area, it could be one or two areas. Center for Banking and Finance, finance department can contribute, economics department can contribute. Similarly, digital transformation, which is a very important, it could be different departments including operations and management. So this Center of Excellence, you have got the department and center of, they also conduct weekly, fortnightly seminars, and see that these seminar papers are published as working papers, and the proceedings also are published as a book or a special issue of any journal. Now, in these centers of excellence, one more important point is, give way, it paves the way for doctoral students to take up topics. What topics should a doctoral student work? You see, that's a big challenge. What is the area to work? Of course, we do rigorous training in the doctoral program methodology. That is all right. But what area to go? See, that is why the senior faculty who are there guide the student. Look, this is an area. This is an important, that is why the balance is between rigor and relevance. Rigor we ensure through our research methodology courses and other courses there. But what about relevance? You see, Mr. Jayesh Ranjan gave so many topics. The relevance is constantly thought out by the faculty in the departmental seminars and in the centers of excellence. So then it paves the way for a student to choose a topic for his PhD thesis. Now, I'd like to say a few words about what is the informal sector. This is most important thing. Now, in India, it's more than 80% of the labor force is in India, informal sector. But less than 50% is contribution is from the GDP. This is a big challenge, you see. They work as hard, you see, as hard as our formal sector person. But they get much lesser wage. So this is a big challenge we need to work. And I have listed some, and everyone can add to this list: agriculture, construction, retail trade, self-employers, small business, vendors, domestic servants, proprietorship concerns, prostitutes, and so there are several others. See, this is informal sector. It is extremely important to give recognition to this sector, particularly women. I also want to say, I want to congratulate the organizers in the prospectus they have given. They have spelled out the sustainable development goals. That's a very good paragraph which has been presented in the prospectus, and that should be kept in mind. I'm not going to dwell on those, but one point I want to say, there is a trend you observe every day today of formalization of the informal sector so that you get better wage to the extent you formalize. That's a continuous process. We should do in the interest of the informal sector. And informalization of the formal sector, you see, that's also takes place because they don't want to give permanent job. As Mr. Jayesh Ranjan also said, getting regular jobs is difficult. So you make an informalization of the formal sector. For example, in this university, we give some contracts. So that work is done by contract. That comes under informal sector. So the digitization is extremely important. Digitization concept is relevant not just only for informal sector. It's extremely important as important for informal sector as also to the formal sector. And it is taking place continuously in the interest of the nation and interest of the world. Skills are important, and upgrading the skills is more important along with degrees. Degrees are necessary, but skills are important. You see, that 10,000 BTech students applying for constable job, as told by Mr. Jayesh Ranjan. Skills are not there; they are not able to get. So, acquiring the skills, we need to do a lot. I hope the organization of the symposium will throw light on these issues and remedial measures to achieve increased productivity of the informal sector. I request the delegates and panelists and the organizers to have intensive professional interaction among the participants in the ICFAI tradition. What I mean by ICFAI tradition is intensive interaction. You see? So, in every panel discussion, there could be 5 minutes presentation by the panelists, then there is question answer, and then the second round, and then the third round. I think so that intensive interaction is important because all the distinguished delegates are highly learned people, so both can learn from each other. During the 3 panel discussions, first from education perspective, including content, certification, and skill assessment. Technology perspective, data, hardware, payment, content delivery, affordability, and accessibility. Finally, the ecosystem perspective, including entrepreneurs, investors, regulators, recruiters, educational institutions. The symposium, I agree with what Mr. Jayesh Ranjan has said, the symposium should conclude by suggesting a way forward for digital transformation of informal sector by leveraging on educational technology. Now, it is also the purpose of every center of excellence to see to it that annually, now at the end of the year, what is the Center for Excellence on Digital Transformation done? You see, you conducting the proceeding is good, but the proceedings of the seminar should be published either as an article in a journal, or the 3 panel sessions could go as 3 articles in a journal. 3 articles together, some introduction and concluding remarks can go as a small booklet. That I leave it to the organizers. I am extremely grateful to Frederick FES, sir, for making this a joint effort. Before I conclude, I congratulate Professor Ved Pureshwar, Senior Advisor, ICFAI Group, Professor Shailajan, Dean of the Business School, Professor Venugopal Rao, Head Marketing, Professor Samyadeep Chakravarti, Head IT and Operations, Sanjay Fuloria, Director of Center for Distance and Open Learning, Vishal Mishra and Shailendra Singh Bist, coordinators of the program, Sudhakar Rao, Director Branding, Professor R. Prasad, Director Academic Wing, and Sainath for moderating the 3 panel discussions which follow this inaugural of the symposium. I also thank the Registrar and Direct Administration and their staff for these arrangements. I thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Professor Mahendra Reddy. May I now request our guest, Mr. Ulrich Stock, to come over and give his address. Mr. Stock is the Country Director, Friedrich Ebert Stiftung, New Delhi. He has previously worked for FES in United Kingdom, Greece, West Balkans, Central America, and Morocco. He studied economics, psychology, and development policy in Frankfurt, Hamburg, and Berlin. Welcome, Mr. Ulrich.
Good morning. I'm very honored to be here as your guest. Professor Reddy, it's a great pleasure to be in this respected and excellent venue and campus for digital and business development here in Hyderabad. Sri Jayesh Ranjan, Principal Secretary, Industries, Commerce Department and Information Technology, Electronics and Communications Department from the government of Telangana State. Professor Mahinda Reddy, Vice Chancellor of the ICFAI Foundation for Higher Education. Our partner, the Center of Excellence for Digital Transformation, and other departments of the ICFAI Foundation for Higher Education. Thank you for your collaboration, partnership, and for hosting this event. Dr. Vett, the Senior Advisor of the ICFAI Group. Dr. Shailanjan, the Dean of the Business School. Professor Sigbish, Associate Professor Marketing and Strategy at the ICFAI Business School. Thank you for your long and trusted relationship with our foundation. And estimated guests, experts from industry, from academia, dear participants, dear students of this business school. Let me say a few words about our foundation. The Friedrich Ebert Stiftung Foundation is the oldest foundation in Germany. It is following the legacy of its founder, Friedrich Ebert, who was the first democratically elected president of Germany. And he spent his work and his life on the promotion of social democratic values as freedom, justice, and solidarity. We maintain an international network of offices all over the world in about 125 countries. Our project, Economy of Tomorrow, looks at transformative discourses dealing with 3 megatrends in India. What is the energy transition, urban transformation, and digital automation? Gender justice, digital justice, and climate justice are integral to our work. We are working towards creating a coalition of progressive actors and thinkers who can bring innovative ideas on the table for the creation of a socially equitable, resilient, and smart development model for India, which would serve as well as a roadmap for similar narratives in other countries and around the world. During the pandemic, we have observed an increase in informalization of work and a rise in unemployment rates. In October, the unemployment rose from 6.8 to 7.5%. The rural unemployment jumped from 7.9 to 6. No, it jumped to 7.9 from 6% in the previous month. So the pandemic shows as well that the future of work will be based heavily on technology and tech innovation. Informal workers constitute a large part of the Indian workforce, 90%. Unskilled, semi-skilled workers. Many are migrant workers, often trapped in vicious circles of inequalities, injustices across generations. However, their access to technology and newer platforms or sites of work is limited given a resource crunch and a lack of access to information, of these parts of the population. Particularly whenever access is possible, gender dimensions of access, patriarchy and cultural stereotypes restrict especially women to use these opportunities. In order to make cities truly resilient against disasters or pandemics, transformation lives in the informal sector workers of the lives of the informal sector workers is required. Education and skilling can be a game changer for those already in the job market and for those wanting to join. Education and skilling can change the future of informal workers and stop this vicious circle of exploitation, marginalization, and injustices. It could provide career growth path, the use of a core skill set, renew indigenous skills and use them in different settings to redeem their status as respected individuals and the social and economic recognition as workers. However, the informal sector, as you already said, is not a homogeneous group. There are different levels of abilities, of capacities, strength, interests, accessibility, affordability, availability. They all exist and we also have to consider age, sex, disabilities, ethnicity, economic status. So there is no one-size-fits-all solution what could help. Very crucial is the adaptability and agility of both the informal workers towards changing pace of work and the tech innovators or industry on understanding needs and aspirations of these workers. Thorough assessment is needed. So this symposium should provide answers to these basic questions. Who are the stakeholders? What options are available? How can they be accessed? How to bridge the gap between the workers and the industry? How inclusive is the industry? What can be done to make it inclusive? And mostly, how to look beyond the present view of jobs for economic growth to a broader, more inclusive view of workers as change agents for social development. So I'm wishing us a lot of success for these days, interesting exchanges, and we are very curious as well to see the documentation afterwards what would be available for a broader audience of interested people. We, the FES, we try to contribute to this debate of the future opportunities and challenges for the Indian labour market. Thank you very much, particularly our partners and to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ulrich. Let me quickly take this opportunity to thank both the eminent speakers for sharing, all three of them for sharing their views and the way forward. Before we conclude, let me quickly ask my colleagues and leadership team at ICFAI to give mementos to the guest. May I request our Dean, Professor Sheljan, to present a memento to Professor J. Mahinder Reddy. Thank you, Dean Shaljan. May I now request Professor Ved to present a memento to our friend and partner, Mr. Ulrich. Mr. Jayesh Ranjan joined us virtually, but we want to thank him for his contribution, and may I now request Mr. Sudhakar Rao, Director Branding for ICFAI Group, to collect a memento on his behalf and hand it over to him as soon as possible. For that, can I request Professor T.S.R.K. Rao to present a memento on our behalf to him? This is for Mr. Jayesh Ranjan. Thank you very much, sir. Before we conclude, may I request Professor Venugopal Rao, Area Coordinator, Marketing and Strategy at IBS Hyderabad, to propose a formal vote of thanks.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Vice Chancellor IFHE, Professor J. Mahinder Reddy, Dr. Ved Purishwar, Senior Advisor, Professor C. S. Shailajan, Dean Academics, IBS Hyderabad, faculty, students, and staff of IFHE, I extend my sincere appreciation and thank all those who graced the one-day symposium on digital transformation of informal sector, challenges and opportunities for EdTech. This event is jointly hosted by IFHE and FES. We express our deepest gratitude to Mr. Jayesh Ranjan, IAS, Principal Secretary, Information Technology, Government of Telangana, for accepting our invite and sharing his rich experience and enlightened thoughts on the theme of the symposium. He put across a balanced view of the emerging scenario from a policy perspective. I convey my deepest appreciation to the co-host of this event, Mr. Ulrich, Country Director, Ms. Mandvi Kulshestra, Program Advisor, FES, for readily accepting to organize the event at our campus. I thank the Vice Chancellor, Professor J. Mahinder Reddy, for his constant support and encouragement for such activities. He has always been at the forefront and encouraged the business school to host events that are in alignment with the Sustainable Development Goals. The constant encouragement of Dr. A. Ved Purishwar, Senior Advisor, ICFAI Group, made the journey easy to put this event together. He has always been there whenever we required his advice. Thank you very much, sir. Sincerely thank our Dean, Professor Shailajan, for helping us with the smallest things to enable smooth execution of this event. The faculty team at the Center for Digital Transformation, Professor Shailendra, Professor Sanjay Fuloria, and Professor Vishal, who worked so hard to put together a plan for the symposium, identified eminent speakers in different panel discussions, and ensured flawless execution of the event. The members of the press for helping us cover the event, and a special mention to the branding team led by Professor Sudhakar Rao Garu for putting together the marketing efforts in the online and offline modes. The student volunteers, according to me, deserve a special mention. They are across here. Their enthusiasm and energy helps us organize events of any magnitude so easily. Thanks a lot to the student volunteers once again. I appreciate the presence of faculty colleagues who have come here today, and sincerely thank all of you for your encouragement. The help of the support staff, general administration, IT team at IBS deserve a special mention for tirelessly working to ensure the success of the program. I sincerely hope the deliberations of the day will turn out to be a very valuable takeaways for all those who are present here, online and offline. Thank you once again, Professor Shailendra and his team. Do we join for tea after this? Yeah.
So this concludes our inaugural session. We'll break for tea and then rejoin for the first panel discussion, moderated by Professor Sudhakar Rao. Let's take a break of 10 minutes and quickly assemble back here. Thank you very much.